that was that you, Amanda?
On my throat. That other thing,
Scared
guy.
me. You scared me. And a couple of housekeeping rules is that we do ask that everybody remain muted. Everybody comes in muted, so we ask everyone to remain muted. Typically what we'll do is we'll do the first half of kind of a presentation and then open the floor for Q&A. So I always recommend having a pen and paper handy or having your digital notepad open. And I think we'll open up the floor a little bit earlier this time because we've got some special guests here. But if they're general questions, if they're not specific to what we're talking about, I would ask that you keep your questions to the end. Otherwise, we won't get through the whole session if we open up to questions first. So on that note, I'm going to hit the record button.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right. Okay, officially kicking off Friday Night Zoom. Thanks everyone for joining. Tonight, as I mentioned, we've got a couple of things that we're going to be talking about. And I'm going to kick off first with hashtag Take Back Your City. So, and then we'll do some updates afterwards. We'll talk about Scott's initiative for Scott, and then we'll open the floor to general Q&A after. So hashtag Take Back Your City. So what is that all about, guys? So in a lot of a few provinces, I shouldn't say a lot of provinces, but in a few provinces there are elections. There's in Ontario we have both provincial and municipal elections coming up, and we can see all the brown nosing from all the political parties. Oh, we're going to be so kind to you, Doug Ford. Open Ontario. Okay, Dougie. Love and attention, and but you know what gets overlooked all the time is City Council, City Hall, and guys. One thing to note about all this bullshit that's been going on for the past couple of years is that it really started at City Hall. The mask mandate came through City Hall. At City Hall, number one, it's your backyard. It's where you live. And you can, it's party agnostic, and you have a much better opportunity of going over your ward than trying to take over the province. And in particular, listen, I don't know what's going on the provincial level, but I do believe that there are some challenges with integrity. That's just my own opinion. I could be wrong. And I think that the City Hall is something that's overlooked by ourselves. It's overlooked by everybody. And we've had some folks on here previously talking about City Hall and the opportunities within City Hall and City Council seats. So that's the premise of hashtag Take Back Your City. Take control of what's happening in your neighborhood. Get out there, connect with people, talk with people, and build your network, and make some change on the grassroots level. So we have with us tonight, we have Gada Malek, who's out of Mississauga, and she runs Civic Revival. And she has started a platform for folks who are interested in taking a city council seat in their area. And we also have Mike Kench. Mike Kench is currently a city councillor in the Gananoque region, and we've had Mike join us before. And now I know there was some Windsor folks that may have been joining tonight. So if there's anybody from the Windsor group, if you want to just put your hand up or say hello. I was speaking with Richard this afternoon. He was mentioning that he was going to forward the select area. You're a little loud. Yes, are you council?
No, I'm thinking that's why I'm here.
Well, okay, if you want to let us know about what you got going on in Mississauga, and a little bit, I'll put the links to your site in the chat while people are talking, or while you're presenting.
Very good.
Today.
you, Rebecca, and thank you. And I'm excited because we've been city council for a couple of years now, and more people are starting to pay attention now. So it's great. And I agree with you also. Not only the mask mandate started in the city or on the regional or municipal level, but if you pay attention, you find that the regional and municipal governments are the ones who have or can fire the regional medical officer of health who decides the fate of your children. So if you have a decent and balanced city council, you'll find that you have a less woke, more reasonable doctor as well. So that's one thing. But why city council in general? There are a number of reasons. I'm gonna make you pay attention to, hopefully. So the first thing is, I've been involved in all levels of government as a candidate or supporting a candidate and so on. And from 2015, we started to notice how candidates were being thrown out because of certain party positions last minute without warning. 2019 or 2020, not only candidates, but also elected members of parliament and members of provincial parliament were being fired from the parties, which told us that we're getting to a level where the party is everybody has to wait to one vote. Everybody has to toe the party line, and this is not the place we can make the most impact, because it doesn't matter the integrity of the MPs and MPPs. They're not making much of a difference. Yes, we keep pushing, but we have a much better place to push, which is locally in our city. And as somebody was saying, local action, national impact. That's where it starts. It's where we build coalitions. We build a strong grassroots action on the ground. On the one part, if we're just not looking to run, but we're looking to advocate for a certain policy position or a certain decision, or we don't like a bill or we like something to be passed in city council, you need less people than you need if you're lobbying for federal bill. Your city councilors would be less corrupt than on a higher level. There's less corruption in the city because it's more fear of going against the mainstream. So if you strengthen their back, they usually would do the right thing. I'm talking about councillors, not necessarily mayors of big cities. Then less impact, less input, bigger impact. So that's one thing. Also, if you're looking to run yourself, you need less money. You have less media pressure because the media will not cover municipal elections. So there's less and less of pressure on you to stand up for yourself. So you are your own boss. Yes, it's harder when you run without a party banner because now you have to build your own brand. But on the other hand, you can, with a fresh message and a good team of volunteers, you could actually win it. Usually, it's much easier to win a riding that doesn't have an incumbent than running in a riding or a ward that has an existing incumbent, because name recognition really usually is the most important or the biggest thing. Somebody needs to mute.
Yeah, we got her. It's all good.
Okay. So that's the first, the impact itself. But why else municipal? Agenda 21 is now focused on municipal. So I don't know if you look at your city, check if you have, for example, Vision Zero being implemented. I don't know if anybody heard about Vision Zero, which is supposedly, everything is good on the outside. It's a vision to reduce number of car accidents or pedestrians being hit by cars. It sounds great, but it's almost like COVID Vision Zero. It's like you can never achieve that unless you stop using cars in general. So if you Google Vision Zero, you'll find that it's a United Nations initiative. It's not a local initiative, but all of a sudden all municipalities have to compete to implement it.
What's that
And
called,
what does
Gada? What's the name of
Vision
that?
Zero? Yeah, so it's a
Vision
World
Zero.
Health
Mhm.
Organization
Okay.
vision, which targets reducing speed limits in every school zone. And now every zone, they divide the city into zones, and every zone goes down by 10 kilometers per hour. What does the WHO know about our city? That's, I'm not sure I understand. There's an initiative, for example, called ICLEI. I don't know if you heard about it. It's an International Committee for Local Environmental Initiative, which targets local cities and regions. So if you Google it, you will find if your city or region or mayor or city council. There's also a global covenant of mayors for environmental action. So you find all these global for local. What alerted me to this is when our city council declared Mississauga an environmental emergency from Mississauga City Council. And a year later, they voted on a motion to pressure the provincial government to cancel all gas-fired power plants. And it's beyond me.
Wow.
How are we planning to do that?
Wow,
And
that's
that
incredible.
was only 2 councillors argued, but everybody else was on board. They're okay with canceling gas. So all these reasons, with Agenda 21 becoming finding the most important being the municipal level, we also have to be active on the municipal level. Small number of active people can make a big impact. And we tested that a couple times over the past 2 years when only, I would say, under 100 people lobbied council on an issue, for example, and we managed to change the direction of a vote. So yeah, so it can be done. Now, yes, it's hardest without a party, but it costs you less money. I already mentioned that. So I'll give you an example of a scale of when you want to run. So let's say you have a poll. The city is divided into polls, and you need to know how many polls are in your city. And let's say there is on average 50 polls in how many wards in your city, and there are on average 50 polls in a ward. So they divide the neighborhoods into polls, and the ward, let's say, has 50 polls.
Are we taping?
If you have 20.
Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt. We're taping?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So
Go ahead.
let's say we have teams of 2 volunteers, 25.
So I gotta let you guys know that we've been getting attacked lately. So this is what happens when you start gaining momentum. So I'm going to make it very clear to anyone on this call tonight. I find you in 2 seconds and I remove you in 2 seconds. So if you want to unmute yourself and play stupid music, knock yourself out, get it out of your system, do it now, and you're going to be removed and you'll be blocked. So you do what you got to do, and we're going to continue to do what we have to do. I would ask that you think about having respect for myself, like for myself, for Gada, for Mike Kent, for Amanda, for Jane, for everybody on this call who's giving up their time to be here. They're not here for your childish games. If you want to comply with the orders and sit on that side of the world, we're not going to stop you. So I'm just letting you know I'm very quick with the remove button. Okay? We'll continue on. I apologize.